It's been almost 1200 days since we got those huge skin leaks, M4A4 Fade, AK Wildfire, M4 Gamma Doppler, Op Whiteout, etc. Still none of these skins have been added to the game and I don't think they ever will. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I think this was right after the CS2 beta released that these unreleased skins showed up in the game files, which are basically leaks. These, I think at the time, people were talking about that these were supposed to be operation skins, but because we never got a new operation, they never released. So maybe if we get an operation in the future, these could be released, but at least the AK Wildfire would be amazing. I would 100% use that. But it is not the only anniversary, because on this day, 10 years ago, we got the Emerald knives alongside other iconic skins with the release of the Gamma case, and this was basically the last time that Valve added new knife finishes. That's pretty crazy. So with that in mind, I think it's time we talk about the future of CS2 knives. This video was brought to you by Skins Monkey, where you can trade your boring old skins for brand new ones. Are you tired of your blue combo? Just trade for a red one, it takes seconds. Use code OSNICS on the website to get $5 for free to trade, and you also get a 35% bonus on deposit. They have 24/7 live chat support, link is in the description, and thank you Skins Monkey for sponsoring the video. There's two options for new CS2 knives. We know that they're not gonna release new cases, right? So they are not gonna come in a case. There's this option in which they add knives to the armory. I already briefly talked about this in the last video, but here's like a concept made by Gregory, where you basically pay 500 armory points to get a random knife skin, as you can see. Of course, it's only a concept. I don't know what the price would be. Another option is this. Valve is going to give us knives in Terminus collection soon, and I think this is inevitable. I think this is 100% happening, but the question is, will they add these old knives or new ones? Because imagine they add this, the M9 Gamma Doppler. What that would cause is what basically this guy is saying here. Lastly, a terminal with knife goals is inevitable, and expect knife prices to crash again when Valve have to sell Doppler gems for under 2k Steam limit. This is the thing, right? If this comes out, this terminal right here with M9 Gamma Dopplers, for example, they couldn't really sell a Sapphire or a Ruby for over 2k. 2k would be the limit. What would the effect be on knife prices? That would be insane. Although I don't think they will release a new terminal with old skins, Valve could potentially be forced to turn old cases into terminals if regulations say it, because if cases are banned everywhere, it is possible that they just turn them into terminals. The new twinblade knife arrives in CS2 Arsenal in a Spy and Tech collection terminal, hence the delay on rotating it. This is another possibility I was talking about before, which is basically knives in armory collections. And we also have this video from this guy, which I don't know how to say his name, so I'm not even gonna attempt, but what he's basically talking about is the fact that the armory could be getting a dynamic pricing system just like the sticker store for the Cologne Major, but it doesn't really have to do with knives, so it's not the focus of this video. But ultimately, I think there's three options for knives in the future. They either come out as a limited edition item that costs a lot of stars. The second option is they come out in armory collections, just like the train collection, for example. Spy Tech could have a knife as the gold item in the collection instead of having only up to a red, or they could make it so knives come out in terminals. I feel like all of these options are very possible. The least likely one, in my opinion, is having knives in limited edition items. I don't think that's gonna happen because you can't really gamble for them, so Valve wouldn't profit as much. But in other news, the first sale of a Souvenir Factory New D-Lord just happened, and it sold for 11.6k. Well, the last sale before this one was in 2022 for 200k. That's a 95% decrease, but keep in mind that these have new stickers. It's not the same thing as the old Souvenir D-Lords, right? Just moments ago, the first ever 6 Holo Katowice Souvenir D-Lord was crafted. It was generated from stage 1 match between Tyloo and Line Vision. Oh, this is interesting. So he generated the Souvenir D-Lord, scratched the stickers, and added this insane craft. Yeah, I don't think the craft looks too good. People with a lot of money just tend to create the most absolute garbage crafts, but it's insane. He generated a souvenir just to scratch everything and add these insane stickers. If you made it this far, comment the word lore, and I'll see you in the next video, which is only gonna be next week because I am going to Cologne for the major. So yeah, goodbye.